links to join channel here over on subscribe channel. Thanks to everyone who has. So this article comes out, and it talks about the anticipated films, and obviously the interesting thing is like what's not anticipated. It's Internet Movie Database. It's kind of like what people are clicking on, sort of thing. But then this other article came out with Brie Larson, where she's releasing Instagram pics and she's showing her boobs. And, you know, to her credit, she's an actor in Hollywood. She's got a rockin' body. She probably never touches a carb. And she's not one of those who's afraid to do. The way she does it is pretty clever. It's like the sports method where they wear, you know, like bicycling pants, yoga pants, and then a sports top. And they're, you know, here's Brie Larson's workout. It's like, so you're in a, like, essentially a skin tight shorts and a bra. No. It's a workout video. It's like, but it's a chance to show off your, you know, your 12% body fat and your nice, your rockin' body, to be fair. Like, it's not easy to get that body. It's like you get that body by not touching a carb, and for her probably not going over, you know, 1,200 calories a day. Let's take a look at her Instagram. So she releases these Instagram pictures. Let me get to the one where they lighten it up. A bunch of fake tattoos for, I don't know, some kind of show or something. It's you know, I'm showing off the tattoos. It's like, yeah, you know, all right. You got a rockin' body. There's no shame. In fact, anything, the days of nowadays are like health in any size. It's like this is the stuff that should be encouraged. But it's also because Brie Larson, she was in Captain Marvel. It made $1 billion. All the Chad Hugo Boss got outraged. It did $1 billion. It was because it was the penultimate film to the biggest movie in history, I believe, so far. Or no, I guess not accounting for inflation. That would be that would be that Civil War movie, if you're accounting for inflation. Okay, but the Avengers, the budget alone was $365 million because Robert Downey Jr.'s salary was $65 million. It was a huge film. I think it made over $2 billion. So respect for that. So Captain Marvel, she was in with, I don't know, Sam Jackson, I guess. I don't know. It really dumb movie. Did $1 billion because it was the lead up to that. That's the only reason. So the sequel to that is The Marvels, which has got Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel. Now, if you've been following Hollywood, you know that female leads in movies is, that's where you dial your expectations way back. Because Birds of Prey with Margot Robbie, which everyone likes Margot Robbie. Thought she did a great job playing the girl in the booty shorts. It's like, what do you mean? She was in that Joker movie. Yeah, she was a girl in the booty shorts. Let's keep things in perspective. Like, yeah, she was Harley Quinn. She was the girl in the booty shorts. That was a lot of her character. And then when they did the sequel to that movie, like, yeah, the sequel to that movie actually lost money. Why? Because they played it down. They played her down. They played a lot of things down. It's like they got woke for I don't know, 2020, I guess. It's if like you're known as a girl who's in booty shorts, and then you're no longer in booty shorts. What do you think's going to happen? Oh, so the movie has to sell on its merit of being either funny or entertaining, but all of a sudden, like a facet of that crystal, the girl in booty shorts, is suddenly removed. You're like, that's kind of feel like I'm missing something in this movie, which is why it didn't do as well. Anyway, so the Ms. Marvels is coming out. There's so like Birds of Prey came out, and then Charlie's Angels with Elizabeth Banks came out, and Ghostbusters in 2016 came out. There's a fair amount of these. I think Ocean's 8, was that another one that underperformed? There's a fair amount of these kind of movies where you like, you look at the ad for Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, and you're like, that's like woman king territory. So she's releasing these images, and she's got, you know, rockin' body for sure. Again, her face is just doesn't quite. I don't know. Something is off about her. Like, she could, like, the what was that guy? Was a movie with Harrison Ford, Blade Runner, and when they're doing the test to determine human or android, and I look at her like, I don't know where she would fall on the test if she turned a turtle on its back type of questions. So she's releasing her boobs out there, and she's done a couple other interviews where she's wear these really low cut dresses to try to show off her body, to try to get you to go like, hey, the Marvels is going to be out. It's like, yeah, but you're not going to be running around in bra and panties in the Marvels. And then the funny thing about Margot Robbie is that she was in that Birds of Prey movie, and then she was in that, you know, Suicide Squad Part 2. Both those movies completely bombed. So she's coming from a hole. And like, again, those movies bombed because in Birds of Prey, she's wearing, like, she's just it's just God, it's so stupid. It's like 30-year-old cat lady humor. Like it'll be oh so random, and she'll drop a hamburger and it'll be funny. And it's like, so is she going to be in booty shorts and bra and panties? Like, are there going to be that kind of scenes? Like, remember Charlie's Angels, where who was that tall blonde? Cameron Diaz she was wearing like Spider-Man underwear and she's dancing around. Remember that scene? Are we gonna have those kind of scenes? Oh no, because that's like the patriarchy or like whatever. Yeah. But I don't care about any of that. I just want to see a hot chick in her Scooby Doo underwear running around and doing a stupid dance, shaking her butt. Can we have those scenes in Birds of Prey or Charlie's Angels? I don't know. I got to admit, I didn't get through all the Charlie's Angels. I somehow I doubt they put that there. Anyway, so Barbie with Margot Robbie, same actor, right? Is anticipated because you saw the release footage. Is like she's her and that guy. They're just cute and silly, running around being good looking people in a cute silly comedy. It kind of feels like they're going to dial back a lot of the whatever the wokeness that infested S Squad part 1 and 2, or part 2 anyway, and then and Birds of Prey, to just give you like a fun silly movie. Anyway, so Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvels don't. Let's get to the list. They don't. This is the Internet Movie Database. It's like the click list. They don't make the list, and how Barbie makes the list as number one is absolutely beyond me. But I said the same about Avatar 1 and 2. I thought both those movies were mediocre, but they did fantastic. So it turns out that there's an audience for. I think of these as like those movies as like the Transformers movies made for a foreign audience, where they're colorful, they're mindless, CGI, just massive amounts of stuff going on in the background, where English is, if it's translated into another language, it just doesn't matter so much. Like the Megan Fox running around in Transformers is a great example of that kind of movie. You have a beautiful girl with the boobs bouncing on a green screen background, with giant robots in the background. That goes a long way. I enjoyed the movie because Megan Fox brought a lot to the table. Hey, Shia LaBeouf also did a good job. I think he was a guy in that. So did Black Panther 2 and She-Hulk hurt the Marvel brand? I don't know, because I don't think enough people saw them, and you go, the numbers kind of throw you off. The difference between Black Panther 1 and 2 is, adjusting for inflation, and ticket prices are more now than they were then. But what happens is, like, say you have two films and they both say Black Panther did over $1 billion, and say part 2 did like $800 million. You go, it's still pretty well. Yeah, but the numbers aren't linear because they're charging more for tickets now. So if, I don't know, 10 million people saw the original film, then the second film only got like 6 million people. So it's like it has less of a cultural impact, it has less butts in seats. And I don't think also that people consider them real movies. In my mind, I don't consider them real movies. They're obviously, let me keep the list. They're obviously these POX, WOX, SJW, virtue signaling films for like a soy audience. But Barbie sounds like a silly comedy with a bunch of pretty people dressed like the Barbie dolls, which is probably what people are on board with, especially now as things kind of go sideways. But how does Guardians of the Galaxy not make the list? The first two movies did really well. The first one was better than the second one, but the second one was also a financial success. But also, if you tell me that people are done with Guardians, I can kind of understand it, but I don't know how to exactly articulate it. Just that you go, yeah, we're just kind of looking into something else. Ant-Man looks a little bit more interesting. Like, yeah, I kind of get that. I just don't know exactly how to put it into phrase. It just seems like those sort of fluff nonsense movies are sort of over. They had their run, but they're kind of done now. But that being said, I'm also sure that people are going to see Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3. That's guaranteed to be a hit, just because people are going to. They like the guy, Chris Pratt, who's in it, and everyone else is in it. But then why did Ant-Man make the list, where I don't think I mean, some of these movies kind of surprised me. Like, it's not on the list, but Doctor Strange 1 and 2 were financially successful movies. And I look at those and I'm like, how do those movies make so much money? I'm not sure. But it also feels like Ant-Man is going in a different direction. It's a smaller character, a more human character. Both movies are obviously endless CGI. Like, the whole thing is just, it's a green room with green, like, if you need the stairs are green, the chairs are green. Like, you need green objects to walk up and over. Everything is green. It's like when they showed behind the scenes for the Disney Star Wars, like, this is a weird way to make movies. Everything just feels so. It's like the Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman, where you see her rolling around on wet concrete, and you're like, I know you're in a green room, and it just feels a little bit off. Anyway, so Ant-Man feels smaller and more accessible to me. Like, the over the top big, ridiculous superhero movies are kind of on their way out. And it's weird to look at Black Panther Part 2 and say, I think an almost $1 billion movie, maybe it did hit $1 billion, should not have been made. But if it hurts the Marvel brand, then yeah, it would have been better to skip it. Though maybe it is like this is at the end, they're just trying to accelerate and try to get as much cash out of Marvel as possible. But the thing is, no matter what, they're not leaving the Marvel universe behind. These characters are just, they're always going to find a way to make these movies because they paid for this IP. They're not going to stop making these movies. They'll just keep going in different directions until they can get something that clicks. And as for She-Hulk, should that have been made? Streaming is a different headspace from films, even if it's in the same universe and usually the same canon. It just, people look at streaming and they go, oh, it's just streaming. It's not quite the same. It's like, even if the budgets are over the course of the series, like the budgets might be exactly the same, but it's like, it just doesn't impact you the same way. Like, oh, you got to see the streaming show to understand the movie. It's like, oh, I need to understand the 2-hour CGI popcorn explosion with, some leather-clad superhero running around doing a bunch of CGI nonsense. I need to really, that film needs a plot outline. I don't think it needs a plot outline. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys all next episode. Yes? No? Maybe?